Hey, welcome back. I'm excited to see you. Well, I can't really see you, of course, but you can see me. It's the same day. I just put a scarf on and my tiara because I'm really old. And I found an egg. I had Peyton hide an egg, and I found it today, so I'm just gonna show you um, what it says. Oh, there's like treats in it. I'm excited to see what he decided to include. Ah, it says Boomer. Do you know that song is from Chumbawamba? I think it's from the 80s, maybe the 90s. But this boomer comment has been coming up a little bit at home, and Circle right there. He's calling me old. So it's good that I'm wearing this tiara for my 50th birthday. Makes me feel a little bit less like a boomer. Um, so speaking of boomers, one of our HR directors is probably a boomer as well. Just kidding. You might have an HR director that's a boomer. Or your parents might. So we're gonna talk about HR really quickly today. Human resources. It's just kind of fun to say HR. Makes you sound like you're in the biz. So one of your assignments is going to be to interview your parents or a guardian or an adult about someone that's in HR. So you'll see that on Google Classroom, and it's not going to be due till next week, I think. So you'll have some time to do it. Okay, so what is human resources? Basically, it's the person at your job who helps to figure out who needs to be working, what their job descriptions are. Do we need to add employees? Do we need to take away employees? How do we organize them? What are their job titles and job descriptions? How much do we pay them? Do they get benefits? All of that kind of stuff. So some places don't even have an HR person. They just have an owner or a manager who does all the HR stuff. Larger corporations have an HR person who's just dedicated to that. And they actually have like a lot of legal training as well. You can actually go to school to be a lawyer who's versed in HR. But smaller companies, they don't even have an HR person. So if your parents work for a small company, the HR person would be like the owner or the manager of the company. So here's a little video on what an HR manager does. So watch that after you're done with this. So what did they do? They figure out, like I said, who needs to be on staff, what the job descriptions are, and then they look for candidates. They may look on LinkedIn. So one of your assignments today is to create a LinkedIn account. And if you're under 16, it's not going to let you do it. So I'm going to send your parents an email. If they give you permission, you can lie about your age just for this assignment. And then later on, you're going to want to delete and start over. But LinkedIn is actually a pretty amazing website where people start connecting with other professionals to try to get jobs. And once you start talking to your parents or other adults about LinkedIn, they'll all have a LinkedIn account. In fact, you can look at my LinkedIn account, which is kind of lame because I'm not looking for a job. But your parents probably have a LinkedIn account, or at least one of them are a relative. So start looking on that. It's going to be blocked on your Chromebook. So use your phone to create a LinkedIn. And there is an assignment about that on Google Classroom just to put in the basics. It's not super user friendly, to be honest with you. So if it's hard to figure out, that's okay. I just want you to get used to it. And then each HSB class you'll be building on your LinkedIn. So just take a look at that. And I've told you what you should include. I'm just going to grade that you have it done, and we'll talk about that later on. So just get started on it, and I'll talk to you about it in a couple of days or the early next week. So HR people might look on LinkedIn. In fact, I can see that I've been searched when people are looking for new candidates, or monster.com is another site where people are looking or posting jobs. HR people also do interviewing. They negotiate salaries. So like teachers used to be just paid like a certain salary, but now because there's such a shortage of teachers, we sometimes recruit teachers from other schools. We can actually negotiate their salary based on their years of experience and their education. They also do an orientation, like they might show you like how things work at your new business, or where to put your lunch, that kind of stuff. And then they also do exit interviews, which is when somebody leaves a company, they want to know why they left and what they can do differently. HR also deals with compensation, so how much people get paid, and then benefits that people get on the job. So in addition to like health insurance, dental insurance, they might also help with like retirement plans, 401ks, which are investment plans, and they deal with all that. So we just got an email from our HR director that we're switching medical insurance again. Like every 2 years we switch. It's such a pain. But they try to negotiate lower benefit costs for us. It's super expensive to have health insurance. So as you're kind of thinking about your career, you may want to think about a position where you can actually get really good health insurance. And your parents are probably dealing with this right now if their job is in transition through COVID. So this is something our HR director just sent on Thursday, how to set up a temporary home office. So I've been pretty comfy on my couch, but my back is starting to bother me. So now I'm moving to the kitchen table and I'm just trying to switch up the video location for you. This is my window looking out the backyard behind me. It's super dirty, so I'm going to be cleaning it this afternoon. So HR sent this out to tell us how to sit properly. I'm actually slouching. And I'm actually just emailed Curtis to see if I could get an office chair at home because this kitchen chair is super uncomfortable. It's so hard. Just kidding. Um, all right, almost done here. So training and development is also something that HR would do. If somebody at your place of employment doesn't do a great job, it's probably because they're not trained very well. Or if you feel like you're failing at your job, it might be because you're not trained very well. Some of you probably have formal training, some of you don't, maybe informal training. So they look at what the training needs are. Like as a teacher, our new teachers get mentor training. So I'm a mentor for Mr. Holford, and try to help him like along the way and figure out like how to use Skyward and how to order stuff and what to do if a student is not turning in their work, that kind of stuff. So I mentor him and try to help him along the way. That's a need that we saw. Then we help to assess like what kind of resources we need. So HR has been really instrumental in figuring out like what we need as a staff going virtual. Our IT people, shout out to IT. If you know anybody who works at in the OASD IT department, they are amazing, doing great things. And then they also oversee performances. So I get a performance rating. My person who rates me is not necessarily the HR director, but our HR director, sets up the performance reviews, and I am being evaluated by Ms. Anders this year. She also looks at management structure and then what kinds of improvements we have. So this is a website. Charlotte Danielson is a person who developed this teacher evaluation form, and you can just take a peek at that. That's not how business people are evaluated, but just how teachers are. And there's a sample performance rating that you could take a look at there. HR people also deal with the law, making sure that we're in compliance, that we're paying people at least minimum wage, that there's no discrimination. They try to keep employees safe and healthy. So the lights need to be working. Doesn't need to be cords everywhere. They protect anybody who's interviewing their rights to make sure we're not asking illegal questions like you can't ask how much people weigh or what their gender is. And then they negotiate contracts, but not every place has a contract system. And then they handle like complaints. If employees complain about stuff, there's probably people that are complaining about working at home. You're probably complaining to your parents about working at home. If there's conflicts within a department or within an organization, they would handle that. Then they deal with something called the EAP. EAP is an assistant program. They set up things like carpools, or if somebody's having trouble for therapy sessions, our EAP would allow like our staff members to get free therapy, I think 3 to 5 sessions, free legal advice, like 3 to 5 sessions, and we buy into that kind of a program. We actually have that for students as well, the therapy sessions, PS. And then labor relations, negotiating our contracts. Okay, that's it for HR today. Remember to check your email every single day. Email me with questions, and then just take a look at LinkedIn. Don't stress about it yet. Just take a look, see if you can get it set up on your phone, and ask your parents about it. Okay, I hope you have a really amazing day. And if you get knocked down today, get up again. All right, see you. Bye.